I'm still reeling though from that Dame Lillard news, man. I did
It's a
not
week.
see
It's
that
almost 2
coming.
weeks ago.
Still can't believe it, man. I still can't believe it.
What do you mean you can't believe it?
I
Certain
really
people were
thought
telling you that from the jump. What
I
up,
really
Sergey?
thought he was going to be here in Miami. Every other player that's ever demanded somewhere and kind of forced their way out has
I
gotten
did
their
say that,
way.
and I did say that. It usually doesn't take this long. The only time it's taking this long was Dell Demps being he was being an a-hole to the Los Angeles Lakers, specifically the Magic. But eventually, Anthony Davis was traded to Los Angeles. But that's Rich Paul. That's Clutch Sports. They're gonna make sure they get LeBron what he needs. This was weird considering July 1st when he came on here. I mean, he didn't come on. Well, not we were the first to break the news
Yes.
locally down here that he was. He said he wanted to come to Miami. He had mentioned it in an interview, and everybody expected it to happen, and it just took forever. And all of a sudden, it seemed like, oh, training camp's about to begin. We got to get something done now. Nothing happened. So we are now here with this current Miami Heat roster, minus some
Gabe
players,
Vincent, Max Strus.
Yeah,
To
listen,
name a few.
it was there are players that, and the fans are right. When they were in the playoffs, everybody was, oh, they're not that great. They're not that good. And then once the playoff ends and then free agency happens and you see that they went to other teams, then it's like, oh my God, what are the Heat gonna do? Well, listen, man.
Thought they had an ace up their sleeve.
Let me take it from a guy who's been a rival to your team. The Heat are gonna do what they always do: recoup, regroup, play great basketball. You have the best coach in the game. You have one of the best players in the game. You have one of the best defenders, big men in the game. They're going to do what they always do. They're going to win. And they're going to be in the mix. And that's it. So that's why it's going to be very, very interesting to watch this season, because I want to see how the fans are going to react. Or they're going to be 50% stressing, or is there going to be, or the other, and another 50% saying, man, this ain't nothing, man. Get me to April. Get me to the playoffs.
All right, let me help you relax a little bit. I really thought Damian Lillard would put us over the edge, but Eric Spoelstra says, no worries. I like the guys we got. The other day in press conference says, the way I look at it after several years of being in the league, you just want to come into camp having a team that you know is going to be one of those teams competing for a title. We have one of those teams right now. I like our group. There's a lot to like about this group. I understand the fandom and the buzz and everything. Everybody wants change after every single year, but you don't know if those changes will lead to anything on those other teams. Saying basically, I know my team. I like my team. He goes on to say, we like our group. We have one of the best playoff performers in the association. He's referring to Jimmy Butler. You have one of the best two-way centers and players in the entire association, referring to Bam Adebayo, who literally can do anything you want a player to do defensively. Then offensively, his game just continues to grow. We have one of the best, most skilled two guards in the league. He's referring to Tyler Hero, who, okay, we'll get to that, who was not healthy during our playoff run. That's right. You were missing 20 points from one of your starters in the playoff run. It doesn't matter what anybody else thinks. He definitely could have helped and made a difference. But he's also one of those more proven clutch players. That's true over the last 4 years in the game. Here's where it gets kind of interesting. We have one of the more decorated quarterbacks and proven winners in this league in Kyle Lowry. And I think we just have a very proven, functional, and dynamic depth at all positions that we need. I'm looking forward to this group. That's not just coach speak, but I don't really care what other people think about it. I just know when you have a team that can be one of those teams that's going to compete for a title, and we have one of those teams. Eric Spoelstra telling you right now, this is the team that's competing for a title.
They're always competing for a title, bro. That's what come on, what are we talking about? They've been to the finals 2 of the last 3-4 years.
But he sounds
man.
so confident.
Well, why wouldn't they? They love when everybody doubts them. This is what they needed. Low key, I think this is what Riley wanted.
Just another reason us against
just
the world.
Another, yeah.
And like Jimmy Butler said, we're going to get to the finals, we're going to win it, and you're just going to say we got lucky.
Yeah.
We went over to allyoucanheat.com. 3 reasons why the Miami Heat are better than last season. You ready for number 1?
Yeah.
What if you said no? How would that would have gone? Actually, no. Hold on. Wait. What? More size. The Heat entered last season as one of the league's smallest teams, but this year, Kevin Love, you got him. You got Thomas Bryant, who I think they're going to find a way to, kind of hide him on the defensive end.
Oh, he
Orlando,
can't play one lick of defense.
But he can score. Orlando Robinson, elite rebounder. Nikola Jovic, 20 years old. He's very tall. Also, you got rookie Jaime Jaquez Jr. 6'7", adds size, offense and defense, two-way player. So the team's got more size this year. Got you something going right there. Shooting should be better. Okay.
Yeah, the 3-point shooting was lackluster.
It was the worst in the league last year going into the playoffs. So maybe Duncan Robinson kind of gets the yeeps out of his system, starts shooting. Tyler Hero playing with a chip on his shoulder, wanting to prove to the world that he's more valuable than they think he is. Team starts shooting better. They have to, they don't have to, but I expect them to shoot somewhat better this season than they did last year. Plus, you get a little more of that offense with Thomas Bryant, a little more size in there. Orlando Robinson, too, kind of open things up. Does Bam start stretching it out a little bit? Do you think?
That's the next facet of his game that he has to take, man.
They promised us last year he was going to.
I mean, they can promise you that he has to do it.
I can promise you a lot of things, Vlad.
I mean, they could, they probably, you see it. And Toby, you can go right before the game. You see it. He's knocking them down.
Okay.
But when it's game time, it doesn't feel comfortable. So, but that's the next aspect of his game. If he wants to continue being in the league a little bit more, he's going to have to be
you'd like to see him extend the court.
Yeah. A stretch.
And
4.5.
Not shoulda, woulda, coulda. But now in Milwaukee, Giannis doesn't have to worry about shooting threes because Damian Lillard takes care of that. That would have kind of been the same thing here in Miami. Bam wouldn't have to. He'd be more the pick and roll, let Dame shoot from midcourt. We'll be fine. So, but more size, hopefully better shooting this year, and players with a chance to pop. Basically, we have guys that could go off this year and really kind of go to the next level, whether it be Nikola Jokic, who in the FIBA Basketball Classic, I will say this, some games he looked great. There are other games where he went over, Vlad. And we know how we don't like the guys that go over. Nexters. Jaime Jaquez Jr. also, I like his size. He's 6'7".
Hey, yo.
I like that he was two-time first team all defense in the Pac-12. I like that he could score. He's a prolific scorer. Guys that really could just kind of go off. Caleb Martin, we saw him blow up in the Eastern Conference Finals last year. Probably should have been the MVP of the Eastern Conference Finals. Guys that could really step up their game this year. I always like Josh Richardson. Like we said, Bryant, he's a great scorer. The Spell will find a way to kind of hide him on defense, get that zone going right there, give Bam a little break. So they've got a little bit of a ceiling that could be rising a little bit. Plus, Duncan Robinson maybe shooting a little bit better this year. So your guys play a little bit better. I also like this. I think Tyler Hero.
I want to see Duncan this season
because he made some
strides towards the end of the postseason.
Yeah,
towards the end of the postseason, you saw him driving the ball. I know he wishes he had those 3-pointers back
again. Yeah,
in that Boston series, but they won. They missed some shots, but I want to see the improvement if he continues that, because he was in the doghouse.
Mm-hmm.
He was riding,
rightfully so.
Yeah, he had a lot of splinters on his ass. He was sitting the bench, but during the postseason, especially in the conference finals and the finals, he played very well. So I want to see that, because if he continues that, then you are a deeper team, because now you're not having a guy on the bench anymore.
Right,
he's part of your rotation, and from the way it seems like, they're gonna incorporate the youth a lot. Should be a 8-9 man rotation this season.
I do like that, and I actually do think Tyler Hero takes a small. I mean, when I say small, because he's already playing at a very high level, but he takes a step up. He's playing with a chip on his shoulder, and now he's here in Miami. He knows now, and he's a professional. He's coming in. The same thing about this. He don't want to play somewhere in the middle of America. He wants to be here in Miami. He's relieved. He's not angry. He's happy to be here in Miami. You think he wants to go play in Oklahoma City? You think he wants to go to Milwaukee, where he's from originally?
You want to be where you love, man.
He loves it here.
He loves it here.
He's happy.
Do they love him?
I think they do. I think he scored 20. He averaged 20 last year. I think this year he might step it up 22, 23. Once again, doesn't sound like a lot, but if you're averaging 2-3 more points a game, That's a whole lot more points a game for this year. I think he plays with a chip on his shoulder. He wants to show the Heat, show the world. But like he said, I'm valuable as hell. A little bit of a step up. Hopefully, Jaime Jaquez Jr. is that guy. Nikola Jovic progresses. Thomas Bryant, like I said, you don't like his defense. I like the way we could scheme around that. I liked his offense. I liked his offense with the Lakers a lot.
Yeah, offensively he's good, but you got to play some defense.
I mean, that's the same thing you say about Duncan and Tyler. They'll figure out ways. So we got a little more size, hopefully better shooting, and hopefully our guys take a step up this year.
This is going to be interesting.
Eric Spoelstra says he likes these guys, and this right here, right now, is a championship level team. Can't doubt them. Who's doubting them? Maybe the guys on ESPN and
a lot of you.
I'm not doubting
everybody.
I'm listening. I said I'm hostage this season. No matter how good or bad we do, I trust that Eric Spoelstra is telling us the truth, that he believes this is a championship level team. Even if they're at 500, going into the All-Star break or at Christmas or wherever you want to say, at any mile marker in the season, just get in the playoffs and be the Heat that have been in the playoffs for the past 5 years, except for when they got swept by the Bucks.
That Christmas night game is going to be very interesting.
I'll be here.
I know.
I've already been asked, by the way. So what's your holiday schedule? I go, here. They go, oh, so you're available. I said, here. Okay, so Thanksgiving, Noche Buena, Christmas, Navidad. Yeah, I'm here. New Year's, I'm out.
You're going to miss. There's no game Noche Buena. You can't miss Noche Buena.
I can do that. They got stuff. I think there's a Hurricanes game or something.
Oh, no, it is not.
I don't know.
You know what? You're right. There might be a college
They just told me that I'm here the night before Thanksgiving, Black Friday, Christmas Day.
Well, I guess your holiday. Well, your last name is Day, so you're working the holidays, bro.
You got to know though, New Year's, I'm going somewhere.
Wait, is there a game New Year's Day?
I don't care. And Vlad, when I say I'm going somewhere on New Year's.
All right,
could be somewhere else.
All right,
and I'm not just maybe not this planet. Maybe might be going, somewhere else.
Space.
Might be in a different planet.
Okay,
but nonetheless, reasons to believe right there, if you're a Heat fan, that it's not all doom and gloom. Although it is not.
Shouldn't be.
Vlad, I am still not comfortable with facing that four-headed monster in Milwaukee if they're healthy with Giannis.
Don't they got it? All right, listen.
Dame Lillard, Brook Lopez,
but nothing's won on paper.
Middleton. I know. You're right. Look, I mean, if things are won on paper, Phoenix Suns.
Nothing's won on paper. Because if everything was won on paper, then the Heat would not have been the representative of the Eastern Conference last season.
They had a 3% chance of beating the Celtics.
The bubble season. So therefore, we can't look at what's going on paper and shout out to Dame. He's going through a divorce right now, and
is he going through a actual divorce?
Yeah, no, like bro,
man, that dude's having a tough go.
No, well, he's the one that filed for it. But so this is what's the crazy part,
Good
right?
guy, though.
He went to Milwaukee, and he filed a divorce, right? Like after he got traded to Milwaukee. What would have happened if he got traded to Miami?
Definitely get a divorce, man. There's
Absolutely.
Too much action down here. Trust me, I know. But let's just do this. We've already done it once. We'll do it again, just for the record. We trust and have faith. Eric Spoelstra saying that this team is a championship caliber team.